We're now going to give our driver a chance to see what the truck is like to operate. To turn the truck on, he presses the power button, then he enters his unique PIN code. This tells the truck who he is. If any error was detected, the display would let the driver know. A key system is available as an optional alternative for those who prefer it. The PIN code allows appropriate settings to be chosen for each driver, according to their own needs and abilities and the nature of the application. For example, a novice's speed can be restricted. Parameters for up to 254 drivers can be precisely programmed. But an emergency code has been built in so that anyone can drive the truck at a low speed if it has to be moved in an emergency. In the case of a fire, for example. The emergency code doesn't allow any mast or fork movement, just the movement of the truck to a safe place. Here we see the user menu on the display screen. Below the screen are 6 buttons. These are used to navigate through the menu and to make adjustments to the truck settings. It's very simple. In fact, it's a lot like using the menu on a mobile phone. Among other things, the display shows battery charge, the direction of the drive wheel, the number of hours worked, drive speed, error codes, and the time. There's a maintenance indicator that tells the operator when the next service is due, a lift height indicator, and a facility for lift height pre-selection can be ordered as an option. Via the menu, the driver can adjust the settings of 11 parameters. The service engineer can adjust 25 parameters. And there are many other settings, 500 in total, that can be changed by a factory technician. Our driver is ready to go now. But to illustrate a very important point, I'm going to ask him to step off the truck and try to operate the hydraulics from outside. And thanks to the seat switch, he's prevented from doing so. In fact, the seat switch prevents all fork and mast movement and all truck travel if the driver is not seated. During the next demonstration, I'd like you to focus on what you hear as well as what you see. As our driver raises the mast and forks to their highest extent, notice how quiet the operation is. Notice also that the mast movement slows down between stages to ensure a smooth, jolt-free progression from one to the next. And there's no bump when we reach the top. The same happens when the mast and forks are lowered all the way down. Again, they come to a gentle, damped halt at the end. If we reach the mast all the way forward and all the way back, we find that these movements are quiet and jolt-free as well. When lifting high, the reach speed is automatically reduced by variable reach damping. We're going to raise the mast and forks quickly to the top of their range again. This time I want you to notice how firm the mast is. There's always going to be some swaying of the mast and forks, but the stiffness and damping of this mast minimise that unwanted movement. You can imagine how much more comfortable the smooth, quiet, steady operation of this mast is to the driver. And without jerky movements or excessive wobbling, you can expect placement of loads to be safer, more confident, more precise and faster. The mast and fork components also, of course, benefit from not being subjected to shocks. There's a lot we could tell you about the programming available on this truck. To give some idea of how simple it is to do, we will ask our driver to change just a few parameters using the menu. I think we've seen enough of the truck's programming and operation to see that it can be set up to meet each driver's precise needs, and that driving the RBN series will be a rewarding experience for all.